Hello, welcome. I'm so excited to see you guys. This is one of my favorite classes to teach is just your basic top 10. And the reason being is because it's still the top 10 or still the ones I use every day. I was just with my cousin this weekend and she got a mosquito bite and she's never used oils before. And Kirsten said, "Here, try this lavender oil." And she put it on and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that works. It's not itching anymore." It's so fun to see the shift in people when you realize how powerful the essential oils are. And that's what these top 10 do. It's just that like immediate results that you can get. So please put in the chat box your name, where you're joining from, and any questions that you have. You can, if there's something you came here with as a question, put it in now, or as we're talking, please put in questions. Oils have so many uses, so we can only cover so much tonight. So I want you to be able to ask questions as we go. And there's multiple presenters tonight, just so you know. Each presenter that's here tonight will introduce themselves as they speak, but I'm Dr. Danielle. I am a doctor of psychology, and I stay in Hawaii. And I've been using oils pretty much my whole life, but really don't feel like I started using real oils until I found doTERRA about 13 years ago, and just changed my clinical practice, and it changed, my health. And that's why I'm here today. So what I'd like you to do in the chat box after you introduce yourself is please put a 1 if you haven't gotten started with these medicinal quality oils yet. You're here to kind of learn and maybe order. So put a 1 and put a 2 if you're a seasoned CPTG doTERRA user. So tonight we're going to talk about what are oils, the top 10, how to use them, and how to get started with them in your home. Super simple. Our class will go about 40 to 45 minutes, and depending on questions. So now let's see oh yeah, the next slide. I know what it is. It's the top 10. So just showing you a preview so you kind of know what we're going to be talking about. These are the top 10. On the left, you're going to see 5 oils. These are single plant oils. So lemon comes from a lemon, right? Easy. On the right-hand side, there's 4 that are blended. And the reason why these are in the top 10 is because there are multiple oils that are really good for digestion. For example, ginger, peppermint, you guys already know that, fennel, anise. And so they've been combined into one, and it's a powerhouse for digestion, for example. So that's what these blends you're going to learn about. So let's get started with introducing you to what are essential oils and all about lavender.
Thank you very much, Dr. Danielle. So essential oils are, okay, before I get to that, my name is Dr. Hannah Lecha. I am joining you all the way from Maung in Botswana. I've been using essential oils for many, many years. General oils before, but 10 years ago, that was doTERRA. It has really changed the way that I approach health, made an impact in my health and in my family's health. My daughter is in the US. She's doing her master's and is knowing where she is. So she said she went outside to try and throw out the garbage. She slipped and she fell. So she had her food. So she's sending me a WhatsApp message. So I asked her, I said, okay, did you injure yourself? She said, yes. I said, okay, use lavender, deep blue, and peppermint. So I told her to apply it to that. And then she responds, I have already applied deep blue and massaged with deep blue rub. So I will apply lavender and frankincense. So that's really how much we value that. Even those people who pretend that they don't like it, like, our teenagers, they've said, no, this is a scam, all of those things. So when she went to school, I bought the top 10 oils for her. She knows how to use them. And today, she found them really handy. So that's how essential oils are. So essential oils are simply just extracts from different parts of the plant. It could be from flowers, leaves, the bark, roots, and fruits. And they contain these powerful aromatic compounds, which is what we actually smell. So if you have ever opened an orange or a lemon and noticed that there was oils, in your hands or just coming to your face, then you have experienced lemon or orange essential oils. They are 100% natural and chemical free. Why? Because they come straight from the plants, and which is why they work so well with the body. Dr. Daniels introduced the top 10. Lavender is one of those top 10 oils, which is highly versatile and actually one of the highly adulterated oils in the market. So most of the lavender that we see in the market is actually synthetic and just, produced in the lab. But the doTERRA one is pure. So it has got so many functions. Topically, we use it for skin wounds, bites, burns, and rashes because it's a soothing oil, which is why I recommended that my daughter use it for her injury. It's also a very good painkiller when you are using it topically. But most people know lavender for its calming, properties. So they know that if they can't sleep, they've got insomnia, then they can use lavender to sleep. It's also good for addressing seizures if you've got a child who, or a patient who has got epilepsy or seizures. It can really help for young kids or even adults for grinding teeth. So emotionally, like I've shared, you can use it for anxiety and managing stress, or just calming a hyperactive child at home. And for those who have gone through a lot of stress, traumatic experiences, lavender works very well. So thank you very much. Over to, is it Liesel? Yes, share with us how we can use peppermint. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Hannah. My internet is a bit slow, so please just raise a hand if it's a bit wobbly, and then I'll switch off the video and see if that can help. Right, so we're going to be talking about the 3 ways we can use these oils. Just keep in mind that when we talk about the way we use these oils, it's always in reference to doTERRA specifically, not any oil that can be found in the pharmacy or like grocery store or anything like that. So of the 3 ways that we can use them, we have aromatic. And anybody who does have the oils with them, please grab your peppermint. We're going to add 1 drop to the palm of your hand, dab your thumb in it, and put it up in your soft palate. We'll rub the leftover together, and then you can rub it on the side of your neck, back of your neck, down your chest, and then just be careful of your eyes, but take 2 or 3 deep breaths. And as you do that, there's a very simple way how you've now, in a 30, maybe 40 seconds, you've experienced all 3 ways that we get to use these oils. So aromatic is when we take it in through our nose, we breathe it in, and then topical is on our skin, and internal is just as you take it inside like we did in our mouth. So when we speak about peppermint, many of you will now feel the physical effect that you can feel on your skin. It reduces temperature. I was just saying to Marty, we live in Lepalale, it's extremely hot, and today it was athletics for the kids, and peppermint touch or peppermint oil is the first oil I grab when it's hot. I'll rub it on the sides of my neck or on my arm, my palms, and inhale it, and that brings an instant cooling effect. It's great for when you have kids or toddlers, if you can diffuse it for them, if you're in a car or you're driving somewhere and there's a bit of a nausea going on. This is one of the oils that's really, it's always available. I put it in my little car diffuser when I feel anyone is being upset. Then this is something that really, really helps with it. For me personally, I love to use the peppermint in combination with frankincense for headaches, just because of its calming effect and because of the way it can actually reduce the tension in your muscles. Apologies. I'm joined on 2 devices. Anyway, so yes, and then as an emotional effect, what peppermint can do is it can really, really help with increasing your focus and concentration. This is one of the oils we always recommend in combination with some of our citrus oils for the afternoon pick-me-up after lunch when you're sitting at your computer and you really just feel like you want to take a nap. This is one of the oils I always reach to first. Because of the increased blood flow, it helps boost your mood, it improves your memory, and then with the opening up of the sinuses and the airways, it really, really does help to improve your mental clarity. So with that, the powerhouse of which is peppermint, we're going to move on to see why we talk about these oils and the quality that comes with the doTERRA.
Thank you, Liesel. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for inviting us once again into your homes tonight. My name is Marie Bloem, and I live in Pretoria, and I have 2 young men. I was introduced to doTERRA about 4 years ago, and a roller enabled me to recover from a 3-year journey of adrenal fatigue. And doTERRA has also empowered me to wean my son off his Schedule 6 medication for his brain to switch off and for him to get a good night's sleep. Can I tell you that doTERRA now puts my son to bed every night? Isn't that just wonderful? All right, so let's talk a bit about why quality matters. When it comes to essential oils, quality is everything. 2 bottles can both say frankincense on the label, but what's inside is very different. doTERRA focuses on 3 pillars of quality: sourcing, testing, and education. The first pillar is sourcing. Now, doTERRA sources plants from all over the world, from regions where they naturally grow best. Factors such as climate, soil, and altitude directly affects the oil's potency and aroma. And it also contributes to the production of the highest levels of their natural constituents. And it's these tiny little compounds that actually performs the magic in your body. The second pillar is testing. Every doTERRA oil goes through multiple rounds of testing, known as CPTG, which stands for Certified Pure Tested Grade. Now, these oils actually undergo 54 tests. And if that's not enough for you, the oils are also tested by an independent third-party laboratory. Now, I actually went onto the website sourcetoyou.com, and you actually type in this number at the bottom of your oil, and it actually gives you a complete report. Now, I just want to read a portion of this report for you. The analysis of this peppermint lot revealed no contaminants or adulteration. The sample meets the expected chemical profile for authentic essential oils of Mentha piperita. So now we know the botanical name for peppermint as well. There you have it. The oils are not just tested for absence of fillers, synthetics, or contaminants, but also for their purity, potency, and consistency. And because of this thorough testing and quality control, it means what's on the label is exactly what's in the bottle, and nothing added and nothing removed. The third pillar is education and safe use. Now, high quality oils like doTERRA are very concentrated and powerful, and power requires knowledge. Oils like oregano are naturally very strong, which is why doTERRA emphasizes proper dilution, correct application, and responsible use. Now, doTERRA also practices co-impact sourcing, meaning farmers are paid fairly, communities are supported, and plants are harvested sustainably. Quality isn't just about the oil. It's about how it's produced and who it impacts. And this is why doTERRA oils are trusted worldwide by families, by wellness practitioners, and long-term users like us. You're not just buying an essential oil. You're investing in purity, transparency, and education. And that's the difference between an oil that just smells nice and an oil you can truly rely on. Batch after batch, bottle after bottle. Thank you, everyone. I will now hand over to Dr. Danielle to touch on God.
Okay, wonderful. So now, I mean, Liesl kind of introduced you to the fact that this is a very different type of oils. Like I said at the beginning, I've been using oils my whole life, but not really until I found quality, medicinal grade. And you can see these are sourced globally. What I love is as we purchase essential oils, they actually support this global infrastructure of farmers in rural areas, including 49 ingredients that are sourced right in Africa. And it's really a good way to give back as well as get your health taken care of. So I'm going to go into now that you understand the quality and that this is very different than we're talking about. I'm going to talk about a blend called On Guard. Now, what's funny is I've traveled a lot my whole life, and before I had doTERRA, remind you, I did have oils, but not doTERRA. And I would just get sick every time I would come home, because you're in a plane and recycled air. So I would just get sick. And so I kind of got to the point where I just knew, all right, I'm gonna get sick again after my trip, which kind of is not fun. But I started using doTERRA's On Guard, and all of a sudden, I got home from my first trip after using On Guard, and I'm like, well, that's weird. I didn't get sick. Well, maybe that's just coincidence. Second trip, like, oh, I didn't get sick again. Well, maybe it's just coincidence. Maybe there weren't any viruses being circulated in the plane. But then by the third, fourth, fifth trip, I'm like, all right, On Guard works. So I'm excited for you guys to have this in your home now. I know some of you joined after we got started, so if you could please put in the chat box who you are, where you're joining from, and put a 1 if this is your first time and you're learning how to get started with doTERRA or medicinal essential oils, and then put a 2 if you're a seasoned user. So let me explain some of the science because that's what gets me excited. Do you see on the left, this is an image that represents your cells and that double oily membrane. So there's a bilipid, 2 layers of oil that you can see being circled. That protects our cells. So when we get sick with a bacterial infection, that sits on the outside of the cells. All this bacteria can swarm on the outside, and we can take antibiotics and it just kills all bacteria. Well, viruses, if we get sick with a cold or any type of virus, they penetrate inside the cell and can replicate. They duplicate and replicate in the cells and spread. Essential oils, being oily based, can actually penetrate that cell. When you get sick with a cold or a flu, there is no medication. You go to a doctor and they're just like, hydrate, drink some water, good luck. There's not medication, which is good. We don't want, synthetic medication going into our cells. But there is medication that was from nature that works healthily and synergistically with us. So On Guard is a blend of various plants that are highly antiviral. So you use this, it's going to stop that virus from spreading throughout your body. So you can see it's good for just boosting the immune system. I just traveled this weekend and I use On Guard. I just use it before I get on the plane, and it works awesome. But there's some other fun uses for it. I use it every night. Do you see this down on the bottom? Cleanse bacteria in the mouth. Oh, that's awesome. Keep cavities away. It's good for tooth pain and killing the bacteria or virus or whatever it is in your mouth going on. And sore throat. I think that's my number one favorite use is if I ever have a sore throat coming on, I just do a drop under my tongue and it will coat that sore throat so you no longer have it can help so you can so your throat's not as scratchy. So that is On Guard, and we're going to continue with oil number 4 and also how to use oils aromatically, topical, and internal.
Right. Thanks, Dr. Danielle. So I'm going to be standing in for Marty. One of the first ways we can get to use these is aromatic. Now, that's when we actually cupped our hands and inhaled everything in through our nose. We have something called the olfactory nerve, which sits on the point of our nose, and that's actually directly connected to our limbic system. And that is why when we say these oils work quickly, it's because when we inhale them, within 20 seconds, these active molecules have reached the brain through that nerve, and it gets just to work. So when breathe in these molecules, you would have felt now you had a sense of opening up, and a clearer, deeper breath was available. Now, Breathe Oil is one of our blends that specifically helps people with breathing. It's our respiratory blend. And it's got a powerhouse lineup of different oils, lemon and cardamom and quite a few. But these oils together really, really work synergistically to help relieve congestion. You can actually just rub it on your chest. And this in my house has now completely replaced something like Vicks Vapor Rub. It's just one of those oils that it's always with us. I diffuse it quite often when we head over in change of seasons. And whenever someone is just a bit wheezy, whether it's from allergies or it's just the season changing, this is the first oil I'll reach to. I'll reach for. I'll put it in the diffuser in my kids' room, and then I'll actually just dilute it with a bit of coconut oil, and I'll rub it on their chest and at the bottom of their feet. And this is really, it's like we said, it's almost instantly as it can open up, and it really, really just helps to relieve of that tightness in your chest. So this is one of those, if you're busy with or if you have kids specifically with some asthma or a snotty nose or that just backed up feeling, this is really one of those oils that you always need on hand. You can't take this one internally, but apply it topically and inhale it, and within seconds, you'll be back to your old self, breathing normally again. And then second up, I'm just going to carry on with the next slide. We're looking at, internal, if I'm not mistaken. Topical, sorry. So topical use of these oils is when we use them on our skin. This is usually for a short term, you want to treat something very specific. When we talk about things like Deep Blue, this is a targeted relief of pain or stiff muscles, sore joints, and things like that. Deep Blue for me is anyone that can move or anyone that has muscles. This is one of the oils that needs to be in your arsenal of oils. It's also one of our blends, and it's great when it comes to anything muscle. I've got 2 kids, and my oldest boy is now 6. He started struggling with growing pains when he was about 2.5. And I had just started with the oils, and I'm like, what do I do with this poor child? And the first thing I reached for when I was looking at these oils was Deep Blue. And I would rub it on his shins. And when we went from a kid that could hardly walk because of the pain, within 10 minutes after applying this oils to his feet and his shins, he was running around and jumping up and down as if he had never experienced pain before. So this is really, really one of those oils that you can apply before you go out for a run, before you go to the gym in the morning. If you had a training session and you were a bit lazy over December holidays and you're getting back into things, this is the oil. Apply it to your muscles, apply it to your joints. It does have wintergreen in, so it's quite a bit of an opening as well. I just rub it all over where I feel anything is painful. This is the oil that I actually reach for. A great way you can also use it if you have, I want to say whole body pain, is give yourself a hot bath. Add some Epsom salts and 5 or 10 drops of this Deep Blue and just sit down or sit in the bath and just soak up these oils. Your skin is your largest organ, so these oils can be taken up and really, really get to work. And it comes back to what Dr. Danielle said, that these oils can penetrate the cell. They can penetrate the cell wall and really get to work where the root of the pain is coming from. Then you move over to tea tree. Tea tree is one of those oils, once again, I'll never be without, and you'll hear me repeat that quite a lot as we go on through the class. The top 10 oils are so versatile and dynamic, and you can be using them literally for anything. So tea tree is an oil, one of our single oils that is great for things like blemishes on your skin. Tea tree is one of those oils that's antiviral, it's antibacterial, it's antifungal. It's really just one of those that you want to keep on hand. If you have teenagers in your house and the hormones are busy rushing up and down, this is one great one to keep on hand for blemishes. Kids are usually going to be scratching around without washing their hands. This has really, really great to help reduce the blemishes on your skin. This can be great for mold and fungal growth. My husband struggles a bit with cold sores. If he's in the sun busy fishing, he's a farmer. So he's out in the sun, and where we live, it's very hot. So when he does have a cold sore, or a fever blister, I'll just take of the tea tree and I'll just dab it on. And within 2 days, you can actually stop that fever blister from growing and opening up. Another personal story on the tea tree. My son cut his pinky toe on a broken glass bottle a while ago. He got, I think, 9 stitches on the inside and 8 on the outside of his toe. Went through the round of antibiotics and did everything well, right, cleaned the wound. And after the antibiotics were finished, my son said to me, "Mom, my foot is sore, it's throbbing, it's very painful." It was red, it was hot to the touch. And on the side of the wound, you could actually see that yellow festering start. So I spoke to the team, and the suggestion was tea tree. And guys, with 6 drops of tea tree, 1 drop in the morning and in the evening for 3 days, the infection cleared up completely. The redness was gone, the pain was gone, the heat was gone, and he went carrying on walking just like any normal 5-year-old would. So this is really those oils. They work for literally anything, and you can use them every single place and part in your house. Thanks, Dr. Danielle.
I think, am I doing internal? Sorry, that wasn't on originally, so just making sure.
It's me.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Liesl, for sharing on that. And there are 3 different ways that we can use essential oils. So far, we have heard about the topical, the aromatic, and the third way is internal. That is when we ingest the oils. And when whatever that we share here about ingesting oils is very specific to doTERRA, because as Mary has mentioned, doTERRA maintains a very high standard and quality of oils. So CPTG, so some of them can be taken internally. And there are 3 ways that we can take them internally. The first one is just putting a few drops in your water to drink. It could be in your water or it could be in your tea. And then the second way is using a veggie capsule. So this is where you are just dropping a few drops into capsules. It's like you are making your own medicine, and then you close it and you drink with water like you'd be drinking your tablets. This is especially important for some of the oils that are hot, like oregano is a very hot oil, and you want to use a veggie cap to take it in. And then the third way is just putting a drop under your tongue. We do have essential oils like the one coming up, frankincense, that are very gentle. So you can just put a drop under the tongue. And it happens to be one of the fastest way of really take it into your body, because because when you put it under the tongue, it's absorbed very, very quickly, as opposed to when you are ingesting it, and it has to go through the digestive system there. So those are the 3 ways in which you can use the essential oils. And on the right here, we've got some oils that can be taken internally. So Zengest, it also appeared with the topical. You can use it both topically and internally. This is a powerhouse oil that has been designed for the digestive system. So anything that comes up, whether it's diarrhea, it will stop it. Constipation, it will release that so that you can rush and do your number 2. And you can even use it in a preventive, proactive manner if you have eaten a lot. Instead of waiting to be tossing and turning, you can just rub it on your tummy. If you have got gas, you are bloated, that's the oil that you can use. Even if you have got motion sickness, maybe you are afraid of flying, of heights, this is the oil that you can use proactively to help relieve that. So I love that you can also even, just put a drop under your tongue, although it's a little bit strong, but you can put a drop under your tongue, or you can just put it in water. Over the weekend, I went for a funeral, and I don't know what has happened from what I ate. All of a sudden, I just noticed that my tummy was just tight and sore. So I used all the two ways. I put a drop under my tongue. Rubbed my tummy. And within a few minutes, I started feeling relief from that. Then the next oil that we use both aromatically, topically, internally is lemon. It's one of the most versatile oils as well, just like lavender. So lemon is a natural cleanser. So it generally cleanses. So you can use it to clean, to clean your household, maybe your glasses or countertops. But when you take it internally, it cleanses also in our tummy there. So it's good for cleansing the GI tract. It helps rebuild the mucus layer inside our gut. So it's one of the oils that you can use for gut health. So the two of them are very good for that. So when we use it internally, just flushes out toxins there in the gut. This is one of the oils that I use every day in the morning. Just put a few drops of water in water, and then add some sea salt, and just sip it throughout the morning. So these are two oils that you don't want to miss in your home. So let's move over to Mary as she shares with us about the king of oils, frankincense. Over to you, Mary.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. Tonight, I'm briefly going to touch on this oil, which can actually be called our liquid gold oil. Now, if a product has been tried, tested, and stood the test of time for more than 5,000 years, I think you can seriously consider its safety and effectiveness. Yes, I'm talking about doTERRA's frankincense oil. Did you know that frankincense has more than 200 chemical compounds? It's these chemical constituents that performs the healing and restoration in your cells. And if you look at this slide, you'll quickly see why frankincense is so loved and trusted. First up, the brain. Frankincense is known for supporting memory, focus, and brain health. And that's why it's so powerful to use aromatically. Our nose is basically a highway to our brain. So if you want oils delivered there very quickly, a couple of deep breaths can do the trick. It's perfect for stress, mental fatigue, or when your brain just feels it's had too much. You'll also notice the anti-inflammatory and anti-aging benefits on the slide, working much deeper than just your skin. Ladies, you can use this oil in your face wash, your face serum, your face spray, and that's just reasons to beautify yourself. Frankincense supports cellular health, which is why people use it for joints, inflammation, overall wellness. And let's just be frank about frankincense. If you don't know what oil to use, you're right on target by using frankincense. You can use it for everything. And then there's even vision support. Yes, use it for eye support and rejuvenation. Many people gently apply diluted drop to the temples or the reflex points on the feet, which you can see illustrated over here. The feet are like little remote controls for your body. Let's turn our attention to that reflexology chart. Here you can see how frankincense supports even our organs. Frankincense just shows up everywhere, and that's why it's so versatile. Whether you're supporting digestion, breathing, or emotional balance, it works like a charm. And finally, I love how the other slide shows different ways to use it. Aromatically for the mind and emotions, topically on pulse points, over the heart or the back of the neck, and internally where appropriate to support the digestive system. Frankincense is the oil you build everything else around. And if you only had one oil in your home, this should be the one. All right, I'm going to hand over to the next person who's going to talk to us about oregano.
Thanks, Marie. I absolutely agree with you 100%. If anyone asks me if I had to choose between one oil, which would it be? It would be frankincense. But last but not least, we're talking about oregano or oregano, depending on how you want to pronounce it. This is one of those oils that you don't always want to need, but when you do have it or do need it, you are so thankful that you do have it. It's really a powerful oil, and we talk about a hot oil, so it's really one of those oils that you would want to dilute before you use it on your skin or even when you take it internally. But oregano is one of those oils that is just incredible when it comes to its antibacterial properties as well as antiviral properties. This is the oil you reach for when you have a start of a scratchy throat. This oil also forms part of our flute, which is what we use to help boost our immune systems. This is also one of the oils that is great for when you're thinking about things like UTI. I actually had a discussion this morning with a lady saying she's starting to get a UTI, and oregano is the first thing that comes to mind when we're talking about infections, yeast, viruses, and bacteria. This is also great for things like athlete's foot. Um, and because of its natural antibiotic properties, we're quickly going to watch a video and we're going to see how it pairs with one of our other oils and really, really takes over or takes the name of being a natural antibiotic.
I think there is no audio, or is it my side only?
It's the equivalent of an M&M shell. Bacteria have the ability to change their genetic makeup over time for their own self-preservation. Bacteria have their own defensive mechanism. They produce something called a peptidoglycan layer. It's the equivalent of an M&M shell that's protecting the chocolate on the inside. Now, one of the other elements the bacteria are very, very good at making, and that is something called a biofilm. Biofilm is its own very goopy, slimy mess that it covers itself in. So what's now starting to happen is we are finding that once very useful antibacterial medications are no longer effective at all. What that means for us, we have to use stronger antibacterial medications. We have to use more potent antibacterial medications. That comes at a cost to our own bodies. Melaleuca has the ability to come in and start to modify that sludge and remove it so that the oregano can get to the bacteria. And in oregano, there's a product called carvacrol. Carvacrol will bind to that peptidoglycan and it punctures a little hole in there. Once that hole opens, you start to get a passing of ions back and forth. What that does to the bacteria is it allows it to lyse. It means burst open. And we've now accomplished something very dramatic, and that is by doing nothing more than using two simple little plant-based essential oils, you have created a very effective antibacterial solution.
Okay, so that kind of wraps up our top 10, and you can see why they're our top 10. It just kind of covers a whole realm of things that you deal with at home. You know, I've taught this class before with people, and they're like, yeah, that's nice. And then a week later, they're like, oh my gosh, I have such a bad stomach ache. I should have gotten that oil. And I run oil over if I can. But it's those times where sometimes you don't realize you need it, that you're just, oh, you're so grateful to have it with you. So let's talk about how you can get started with the oils in your home. And we'll just look at the cost here. But these are the top 10. So go to the next slide. There we go. So there's two kits that help you get started at a super big discount. You can also order them individually, but you're going to pay like 3 times the amount. So it's nice to start with the kit. So you're going to see a kit here on the left-hand side with a little diffuser, and then these bottles are 5 milliliter. And then you're going to see the kit on the right with a bigger diffuser, and the bottles are 15 milliliter. So what that means for you is with each bottle, so this 15 milliliter has 250 drops in it. So it's pretty much like 1 drop to 2 drops per treatment. So this is 125 to 250 treatments of something. Isn't that awesome? That's so much cheaper than medicines or enduring buying over the counter or prescription. So, and then these are 85. So that's like 85 treatments or less. So let's go. Yeah. So let's, Liesl, if you don't mind, would you kind of talk about the cost and then just what the little promotion going on?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So, as Dr. Danielle mentioned, the Home Essentials kit is the 5 ml bottle, so it's the smaller one. It's our top 10 oils that we discussed tonight, together with our small diffuser. And this is a great starting point. Even though every single person that I have spoken to, when asked, would you do the same, they always said to me, I'm so sorry that I didn't size up to the Home Essentials. But if this is in your budget, this will be just over 3,000 Rand. And if you start with this kit, you'll be receiving a free citrus bloom oil. It's a one of our blends, but it just smells like sunshine in a bottle. It's a very great uplifting oil. And then if you feel like want to get something else, and you can actually top up your order. Add something else to the value of 25 PV, and you'll actually be getting a second diffuser, pebble diffuser as well. So this is really great. You can never have enough diffusers, in my opinion. I have 7 in my house, and I feel like I need 5 more. It's just one of the great ways that you can actually use these oils. When we move over to the Home Essentials kit, this is really, like Dr. Down said, more buck for your bang, more bang for your buck. However,
That's
the
what,
Americans say that.
yep, that's what we
So
say.
this the Home Essential Kits is 15 ml, and like Dr. Danelle said, it's 3 times the amount of oil. But as you'll see, it's not 3 times the price. So if you start with one of the bigger oils, the only difference is you'll be receiving a deep blue in a 5 ml, as that's the only size they come in. You'll still be receiving your citrus bloom free oil, but now you won't have to top up. You'll be getting your pebble diffuser as well for free. And like I said, if it's at all possible, this really is the kit you should go with. You won't be replacing this kit next month, maybe not even the second month. And once you start using the oils, you'll really see less is more. So these oils really, really last you a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So that's it from my side. Dr. Danelle, if you want to maybe add anything.
Yeah, just excited for you guys to get started with your essential oils in your home and any questions you have. So what you're going to do is you're going to reach out to the person who invited you to this class, and that person's also going to send you some more information on the oils and a link to get started. Very simple. So you can join us next week. We talk about this class as well as other essential oils every single week. So have a good rest of your evening, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.